It's headed towards us!
The world of Horizon has been ripe for additional entries since the first game, and while Horizon Call of the Mountain offers a unique way to explore the world previously only investigated by Aloy and is mostly a great experience, it doesn't quite manage to avoid some pitfalls along the way. Make no mistake, as a technical showcase, Horizon Call of the Mountain does its job. Stunning vistas that you've seen as flatter-looking versions in Forbidden West and Zero Dawn are fully realised in Call of the Mountain. The vistas, machines, and even returning characters look the part and have incredible attention to detail. Even having built a tool neck in Lego form, seeing the underneath of its foot, its cables, wires, and metal moving as it nobly strides above me, is a fantastic experience. Likewise, plunging into the water, jumping from cliff to rope, and taking on the many machines from the world of Horizon are all fun and pretty much intuitive. You simply have to bring your bow from over your shoulder and an arrow from the other, then place it over the bow, pull back and fire. It's satisfying and there's a good degree of aim assistance so you aren't missing all the time as well. The combat is slightly different to how I've seen other VR shooters handle things. While you have free roam to move about as you want during exploratory sections, combat is based around arena-style encounters. You will be locked into a reasonably large area depending on the foe, and you can strafe with the left stick or dodge quickly with the right. Despite at first seeming like this might slow the encounters down, in fact it becomes a frantic battle to keep out of the way of the enemies while getting arrows on target, switching between ammo types, and you'll likely even work up a bit of a sweat in some spots. As you progress, the arrows and abilities you'd craft in the other Horizon games are present. These, like tools you use as well, must be crafted at first, and by that I mean you have to manually create them. One early use of this truly shows off both the fidelity of the visuals and how good the inside-out tracking is for the controllers, as you have to tie a rope around a climbing tool slowly to ensure it's stable for future use. It requires you to properly move your hands in a 3D space, and while it might irritate some people, it's a show of technological prowess for sure. Outside of combat, you'll spend a lot of time climbing. As Rias, a former Shadow Kaja, you are a rival climber to even Aloy. Similar to how the main games make it obvious where you can reach to and move upwards or sideways, Horizon Call of the Mountain gives visual clues too. In truth, the only thing that lets this game down is the climbing. It's quite hard to articulate, but it just does not feel right. While moving up and round mountains, you will likely have to adjust your viewpoint with the right stick. My suspicion here is that the developer intended for you to be able to move your head and body in a full 3D space, but the truth is that few people have the room required to make this a proper reality. On top of that, you can move at some pace, swinging hand over hand as you sidle along a rope or wood building, and it just doesn't look right. Perhaps the market for those who have actually done climbing and played Horizon isn't a big overlap, but I think most people know you can't really easily free climb with your hands at waist height. It's clear from conversations with others in the game that Rias is a master at climbing, but the upper body strength required to almost shimmy on your hands above a beam is just ridiculous, and forcing a slower, more methodical climbing aspect would have enhanced the immersion no end. Instead, you're left crisscrossing your hands and finding yourself at all manner of obtuse angles that just make no sense. The accessibility options for how you play, by the way, are to be applauded. Whether you want to play standing or sitting, you can adjust so much of Call of the Mountain to suit how used to VR you are. For example, I've played VR a lot, so I wanted full freedom to move with the stick smoothly. You might be new, and that'll make you get motion sickness pretty quickly. There are movement options to mitigate this, and eye tracking is utilised in smart ways, but even that can be turned off as well. It's worth noting that Horizon Call of the Mountain is a decent length game as well. There are paths you can choose to go one way or another, and the result of those choices makes for quite a different game. One path I chose left and ended up fighting two flying machines in a difficult fight that required fire arrows to make it easy. Replaying that section and going right instead ended in a stealth section with multiple watchers patrolling a mine that I had to climb. This kind of thing just doesn't usually happen in VR games often, and it's commendable how much has gone into making a detailed, realised world. Exploring the mountain ranges, you'll find so many items to interact with, from musical instruments to targets that you shoot down that are ultimately collectibles. There's a training range with leaderboards that is tremendous fun, and existing with the characters and locations that feel familiar but different due to the virtual reality is truly a wonder to behold. Despite being a full game, for want of a better phrase, Horizon Call of the Mountain is only really let down by some immersion-breaking climbing at times. The combat is great, the story interesting, even filling in some blanks and fleshing out the world, and it looks and sounds incredible. While I'd like to have seen a few more uses of the newer tech that only PlayStation VR2 can add, this is a great launch title and one any fan of Horizon will want to play. It's not perfect, but it is a powerful showcase of the platform, with a wealth of accessibility options and a good indication of what could be to come, which is why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Hey, Adam here, thanks for watching this video review of Horizon Call of the Mountain, the first big VR game for PSVR2, I guess. As you can hear, I enjoyed it, but it does have some issues. I think if you are new to VR, you may enjoy it actually more than I did, so there's something there for you. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss any future content. Go and have a look at our PSVR2 review and our video of the best PSVR launch titles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.